you can see now, it is completely sewn and stitched together. I cut all the trim off, but there's still some little funkiness going on there. So the next thing we have to do before this part is complete is we have to make some grounding stitches or some anchoring stitches. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your needle and thread and you're going to stitch this to right here so that it completes almost like a circle. And then you're going to stitch this and fold it over just a little bit and sew it to the back side of the process. Now if you look at the back here, you can see that full pattern though for the pinning, where it comes down, over, up, over, up, over, up, over, up, over. So again though, what you're wanting to do is anchor it by stitching 1 or 2 little stitches from here to there, and then a couple stitches from here around the back to there, and that will just finish the complete look. So now that we have all the binding stitches done, we're done with that for right now, and the next thing we need to move on to is the neck piece. So here you have your neck piece like this, and you have your neck ribbon. So what we need to do is, because technically we're going to have the button in the back of the neck piece, so it's not showing, so the middle of the front is going to be right there. Now we cut an extra inch, so a 1/2 inch on either side. This is going to be for the button, but we want to find the middle because that's how we're going to really assess if we're doing our ruffles correctly. So I always pin the middle. Then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half like this all the way along it, if it will cooperate. There we go. And there's our ribbon. So what you're going to do is, starting on one side, well, maybe first what you should do, I guess, I don't always do this and then it gets me in trouble, so I guess we should, is even before we fold it, go like this and find the middle of your ribbon, so that way you can pin it to the middle of your neck piece. This. What you're going to do is you're going to pin it to the inside of the neck piece. You don't want it on the outside because otherwise you'll get this weird little stuff. So we're going to start on this end with our pieces together. Again, you could sew this in advance to put them together to make it easier, but you don't necessarily have to. Start with an edge like that. Also, if you wanted it to look really nice and kind of clean, if you're going to reseal these or for whatever reason, you'd want to stitch this together on the inside and then fold it out, so that way it's not flapping open. But for purposes of just this demonstration, purpose of this demonstration, I think it's fine just to leave the holes open. So with the pieces folded, we're going to make more ruffles. And again, you might have to go back through this and space them out correctly depending on what size you made your neckband ruffle. You're going to go through again, pinching and then pinning. This one will be harder because you have a thick piece of fabric right there. On the neck ones, I don't want to draw away from the actual jabbot itself, so I don't usually make them too close or too big or too flamboyant. And just pinning along this way and then doing the same on this side. After I'm done there, we'll come back and see what that looks like, okay? So this is what it winds up looking like after I've pinned it. See all the ruffles here, and again, this is just the flipping over and pinning. And so now we're going to sew it on the sewing machine. Again, you could sew this by hand if you wanted to, but I'm going to do it on the sewing machine, and we'll come back and see how to finish up this project. Sewn together, it'll look a little bit like this. You have to imagine it around a neck, and so you can see the ruffle. So the next step is to attach that to the actual jabbot. So what I do is, again, I fold it, find the center here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to stitch it right along this edge down here. Now my top of the triangle is a little big, so I'll probably trim that down. But for right now, what I'll do is I'll run the sewing machine right here along this edge. You gotta make sure to push it right up against it, otherwise you get a spacing and that can look kind of funky. And I'll do that, and then we'll come back and see what that looks like, okay? So after stitching it together, you can see it becomes one cohesive piece. I'm going to trim off the excess back here just because we don't really need it. And you have yourself a jabbot. Now, if you want to attach a button here and a buttonhole here, you can, or if you want to do Velcro, whatever's going to work for you, even a little eyelet, that would work. And then after all is completed, you have yourself a jabbot. So I hope this was helpful for you and educational. This is one style of jabbot. There are a couple other styles of jabbots. I may start doing tutorials on how to do those as well, since these are a big part of the steampunk and neo-Victorian community. And they're just really cool. I think they need to bring them back. Again, any type of fabric, you can always clean up the look a little bit. So hopefully this worked out for you. Hopefully this was educational and this works. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below in the comments. And continue to kind of check back, because hopefully we'll have more how-to tutorials on sewing or leather work or crafting. And we're always looking for suggestions on things to make videos of. And those can always be announced on our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/steamtowers, STEAMTOWERS. And also make sure that if you like this, we have lots of products like it on our Etsy shop at CubeFX, CUBEFX. And all that information will be down in the comments as well. Thank you again for watching. Again, hope this was helpful. And don't forget to support your local artists, as this can take several hours, and but it's still a lot of fun. So I hope to see you guys again soon, and I'll check you later. Thanks.